Alright Blues, welcome back to this week's Skype video. It's something a bit different. We're going to be looking at who should be Manchester City's Player of the Month for the month of November. City have obviously got their official nominations, Joe Hart, Fernandinho and Fabian Delph, but I'm joined by Walter and Alex to discuss who we think should be City's Player of the Month. So, starting with you Alex, Who do you think should be City's Player of the Month?
It's a tough one. There've been some fantastic, outstanding individual performances across the board. You've got them, obviously, in the middle of the month, we had that horrendous result against Liverpool, getting beat away at Juventus and struggling at Villa. I think the one player who's actually been consistent throughout the month was Fernandinho. He dominated the game against Sevilla right at the start of November, and then throughout the month just kept his form up, and he's actually proven himself to be a hard-working player, the kind of player who just keeps going for 90 minutes, whatever the score is, whatever's happening around him, just keeps putting through, and that's what you want to see in a City shirt. Fabian Delph, I can see why he's made the list. He's becoming a bit of a fan favourite. It's always great to see a young English player doing well. But for me, it's Fernandinho's the master and Delph's the apprentice.
Walter?
I think if I'm looking at the Player of the Month, I'm going to go for, besides the official list, I'm looking at Otamendi. Now, for me, Otamendi has landed in a new league, and you can literally see him finding his feet. He does defend he's a very unorthodox defender, but he never gets caught out. He's tough, very tough. He's the one Manchester City player I wouldn't like to meet down a dark alley, and he's got a grudge against me. And I just think, for me, he's the Player of the Month for me. Besides the official list, I think Fernandinho has been classed throughout. Delph, I don't think, he's putting enough minutes, but he's always looked good when he's come on. And Joe Hart, I love Joe Hart. I just think he's so underrated on a world stage as a keeper. But I'm going to go for Otamendi because it's not on the list, and I think he deserves high praise for his. He deserves a mention anyway.
Yeah, you say that about Hart as well. It's easy to overlook Hart when we've been beaten 4-1, been beaten away to Juventus. But in that 4-1 against Liverpool, I think he put in a really good performance because a bit like that game against Barcelona last year, he stopped us from being completely embarrassed on the day, putting in some good saves. His distribution has improved massively. I think he's a strong candidate. I think with Delph, he's played in all of the games in November, but it's only towards the back end of the month where he's really come into his own. And he's brought a new energy to that midfield, but as Alex says, Mr. Consistent Fernandinho is always going to be nominated for Player of the Month this season so far.
Don't say that. Don't jinx it, Adam.
Oh, I probably will jinx it, but I'm going to throw in a different name, Kevin De Bruyne. I know that he hasn't had the best month by his incredible standards, but Hull, 2 goals and an assist. He got a goal against Southampton. In that Liverpool game, he created the most chances. 4 chances he created there. He created 4 chances. Who else did he create 4 chances against? Probably everyone. He looked good against Juve as well. But I think his omission from the list might be a bit of a tough one. What do you two reckon?
Yeah, I mean, it's De Bruyne has been outstanding. We don't need to create another video where we all sit around and say, "Isn't De Bruyne really good at football?" So I think we've established that he's quite good, this lad. But what De Bruyne is he's a match winner. He's a hero. Yeah. He's the sort of player that makes the difference at 80 minutes. That until this point, we've only really had Sergio in the squads. A couple of seasons ago, that player was Yaya Toure, but he isn't the player that he used to be. But it seems that we've actually got someone else that we can fall back on. And with Aguero getting himself injured every 20 minutes, it's nice to have someone in the team that you can chill out and go, it's all right, Kevin will sort it out. And it's nice watching City these days.
Walter?
If the whole game was actually in November, it was in December, you see.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have certainly included him. I'll tell you what it is with me is I think De Bruyne looks a different level again when David Silva's on the pitch. Yeah. I think the two of them link up beautifully. I mean, he said as much as in an interview. And I just think that without Silva on the pitch, I think De Bruyne can get a little bit swamped at times because he's a lot easier to man-mark when there's just him without Silva and other people sort of pushing on, Aguero especially. Now, the guy can play football. For me, he's the most expensive bargain in the world because he's just taken us to a new level. And with Silva and Aguero, he shines. And I just think he got a little bit swamped against Juve and a little bit swamped against Liverpool with that high pressing because he was a little bit easier to shut out. If we are including the whole game, he would be a nomination, I would say, but I'm not saying he's a definite for Player of the Month.
Right, well, I'm going to go with Alex's Fernandinho. Walter's gone for Otamendi. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. You don't have to pick from Fernandinho, Delph and Joe Hart. Pick whoever you want. Let us know in the comments below and let's do some sort of poll and find out who would win Blue Moon Rising TV's Player of the Month. Thanks to Alex and Walter for joining us, and thank you for you guys for joining us. Like the video, subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you again soon.